the duo that you love the most, covering events from coast to coast. That podcast is all about the fun with your hosts, Alpidi and John. Chirping about gossip like chickadees. Turn up the cast and enjoy the tea. The podcast with the beauty and the brawn. One's a gay turkey and the other is a black swan. It's that podcast. It's that podcast. It's that podcast. Live from the John and Company studio in Denver, Colorado, it's That Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Alpidi and John.
That was such an awkward just cut off. Hey, what?
Hey, what? I love when we do a really hard just... Hello, it's us. Well, my name is John.
I'm Alpidi.
And we're hashtag That Podcast.
Yes, we are.
Alpidi, you know what today is?
Yes.
It
Today
is our...
is Wednesday.
What my friend is a troll. She's a troll and I love her. She's a troll and I love her. Her. She's a troll and I love her. She's a troll and I love her. Her. New TikTok viral dance. Now listen here, troll. Yes, it's Wednesday. No, you are not a troll, but you are an adorable doll. Now, it is Wednesday.
I could be a troll doll.
You could be a troll. Hashtag troll doll.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag
Doll
doll troll. You know, actually, that's exactly how I'm going to utilize all hashtags from now on. Hashtag That Podcast. Hashtag podcast that. Everyone's like, what? I bet you someone will create a podcast called hashtag podcast that.
Yep.
And you know what? You should. Because you will start getting all of my posts.
Yep.
You essentially will get free promotion if you create a show called hashtag podcast that.
Right. Now,
There probably is. Okay, I thought this actually, that kind of does kind of sound like a name of a show, don't it? And what are you going to do? Podcast that.
kind of like pin that, like Pinterest that. Now, don't come for me. I'm about to drink water. Please don't come for me, okay?
No, oh, gross. Here she goes hydrating again, folks. No, I'm just kidding. We love a good hydration moment. H2O, no, she better don't.
Oh. I did it.
Orders up. Now, what we also did, Miss Girl, is we are here, folks, on our 100th episode.
We did it.
Dude,
We
We
did
did
it.
it.
We did it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Dora did it.
You turned into a French man there.
Yeah, we.
Uh-huh.
Don't you know Dora is a Frenchman? We did it. We.
Wait, why did she say C there? We did it. We did it. C.
We. Mm-hmm. Come on, the backpack guy. We have to go to the mountains. Or should I say La Montanas? And he still teaches Spanish. He's like, we see. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm not great at learning other languages. I really try with my Spanish, but it's just not very good at it, Alpidi.
I get it. I keep trying with Spanish. I'm on Duolingo sometimes, and I'm like, I remember some Spanish. Let me get into this.
Let me get into what? Espanol.
Yes, sí.
What's your favorite word in Spanish?
Cansada.
Oh, mine's, you don't know. Do you know what mine is? Why don't you guess since you know me so well?
Oh, it is. Is it caca?
Caca. No. Those are my favorite jokes, caca jokes, but it's not my favorite word in Spanish. My favorite word in Spanish, I have to say, is trabajo. Work.
You didn't ask me what mine was. Mine is like tired. Like
Didn't you say consuelo? What did you say? What is it called?
Consuelo. Cansada.
Cansada. Cansada. What does that mean? It means napping?
Tired.
Oh. Look at me just making assumptions. Tired. Ooh, I'm cansada.
I'm Consuelo.
I'm Consuelo. Consuelo is cansada. Mm-hmm. From trabajo. Oui, mi amadora.
Spanish.
Espanol. No, that is I love Spanish. I love the language. I love opening our horizons. But this is episode 100, or should I say 100? How do you say? Ojo? How do you say? No, I don't think that. I think that.
No, it's not.
How do you say 100 in Espanol? Do you know?
It's written. Nope, sure don't.
It's. I believe it's ciento, or cien.
Are you sure?
That's what Google says. It's one of the two.
Oh, okay.
It's the number 100 can be translated to Spanish as either cien or ciento.
Well, what is
As it-
100
I know-
in German?
I think it's like einhundert. Einhundert, yeah.
Oh.
Let me check just to make sure that I'm not completely filling the world with hundert, yeah. Einhundert. Like HUNDERT.
And what about Japanese?
And 100 in Japanese is, of course, ku or hya. No, made up of hyaku. Hyaku.
Look at us.
100.
We are very multicultural here.
How you're pronouncing it is HYA and KU. So I think it's hyaku. So welcome episode 100. Me and you, the world.
Episode 100.
It is really crazy. So I am floored that we have gotten this far in our podcast. I mean, how
I'm
epic.
floored. I'm Lori.
Oh no, El Pity's becoming unfunny like me, and it's making me just giggle. Hi, Jesus. Oh my, you're welcome. You have two of us now. But I am floored. Hey, good to meet you. That we've gotten to episode 100. So we have Hyaku. Now we have done this since 2018.
Mm-hmm.
We're 5 years old as a podcast.
Yes.
We're much, much older as human beings.
Yes.
And we're even older in dog years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All facts.
All facts. But can you believe, I mean, did you think like when you and I first started the show in the little office in Denver, that little studio, that we would be this, that this is what we would become? 100 and hilarious.
I mean, I never thought that I would not be in the same state as you, but here we are. So
And that blows me away, truly, that you're like, you live in now Knox County, Tennessee. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I did not move
No.
back to Tennessee.
Did not move to Tennessee. No. No, it is weird that we're not in the same state, but we are consistently recording, of course. But yeah, it's just crazy how small and humble the podcast started. Like, it literally just started as two friends just shooting the shit about, I think the Grammys, was our first show. And RuPaul, and it's just nuts to me that we've gone this far. We've got to travel the country.
Mm-hmm.
We've been invited internationally with the show. It's really, and then we'll of course talk a little bit like the impact we've made on the interwaves, which is also really mind-blowing and like actually humbling when we take a moment and think about it.
Right.
Ding.
But we don't think a lot, so,
No, that's right. No, thinking for the
Overrated.
scientists. I told you, I do a lot of thinking by watching really silly shows. No, I've been there's no segue here, nor is there a topic, frankly. But what I'm saying is that I've been watching alien shows. Okay.
Okay.
And I do think it's legit. And it's actually like, I don't know. There's some things that I feel like are stretches, which is fine, but I feel like that's with everything that you do in life. Like, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, it's just been.
Sorry. Sounded like you
What?
said gray of salt. I know you said
Gray.
grain of salt, but
Right? And that's funny to you. She's like, the word gray is hilarious. Someone slipped something in El Pity's drink this morning.
it's not just water.
It's not just water, it's
Okay.
ice. And I bet you it's filtered water. And if it's unfiltered, no, you might have something in there, girl.
There's a filter
Unfiltered?
in here. There's a filter in here.
Oh,
There's
well.
a filter in my straw.
there's a filter. Oh, there's a filter in my straw. I'm being safe.
It's one of these Britas.
Nice to meet you. Not sure there, but it seemed like it worked. I do think it's time for our favorite segment. Of course, that's shout outs. Shouts.
Real quick, can I give a super quick shout out?
You can give a super quick shout out. Believe it or not, Uppity, you're actually the co-host of the show. And even if you decide to go rogue and do whatever the fuck you want, what am I gonna do? I'll be like, Okay.
Anyways, I want to give a shout out to Ryan. Ryan is here right now and says congratulations on 100 episodes. So
Congratulations. We're
there you
so much fun.
go.
No, thank you, Rai. We love Ryan. Ryan is a very good friend of the pod, and of course, my good Judy. I just love her. So supportive. Of course, that is one of our first shout outs. Of course, goes to Rai. We have so many people to like really thank. Like, there's so many people who consistently listen to the show, and we're just super grateful because it's just wild to think about. Like I said, we started as these two little friends doing silly stuff, and the thing that we have any
Now
sort
we're
of reach,
enemies.
and now we are enemies, and we have a reach. It's insane. Um,
Why do we
but
keep
yeah,
recording this? We don't know.
we know we like anger. But I got to tell you, there was so much. I mean, you think about our show; it's been through so much. We have done really cool things in our old space, right? Candidly speaking, right, there was a studio that I had called the John Jonico Studio, and honestly, it was just for our podcast. I mean, like I did other shit in there, but like it was primarily so we could have a recording space, and it was super great to just have that. I mean, remember that you remember the good old time. We had guests in there in that
Mhm.
tiny. What was it like? Probably 64 square feet. How big would you say that is? Tiny.
It was tiny. It was pretty tiny. It was a good sized closet.
It was a good. What she's doing there is throwing Sade.
I didn't mean to, but
No, but I get. No, I was setting myself up. The real talk, though, like, right? It's like it was a tiny office, and to the point, like, okay, it's only funny now because of where we are in our lives, but we would like at some point the way the furniture sometimes was laid around, you would have to like slide into the office and then like slide around the door, and then sit down, and then once you're sitting, oh, it's over, girl. You ain't moving. It's like
right.
you better not go potty because the
That
party
was the
has
nice
started.
thing about it, though, is that your office was like right next to the bathroom. So
It was,
oh, so
yes,
great.
premium office space, folks. Now, we also remember in the office space a lot of memories, but we also did we have guests, of course, the show, but we also did the docu series here. That's where it started. Where our Grammys show, full circle moment. And I just remember, like in the office space, Madison, if you're listening, hey girl, Madison was
Hi,
an
Madison.
old Denver gal, and now she's living somewhere in the world, probably Aruba. Huge
Jamaica.
K-pop gal.
Ooh, I wanna take you to
To
Bermuda,
Bermuda.
Bahamas.
Where did you get that Aruba from?
I thought you said she was living somewhere like Aruba.
I know, but is the Aruba in that song?
Yeah,
Aruba, Jamaica. Is that how it goes?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, this is embarrassing for me. This is live. We can't edit this out. Speaking of editing,
Go.
Madison was also my editor for YouTube for a long time, and she was also our editor for the hashtag that podcast docuseries. And remember when we were sitting planning in there, like, and then Madison was basically like against the door
Yep.
because there just was no space in this. It was just hilarious, like things you'd never know actually, like watching the docuseries, like that someone was like, poor Madison was crammed up in that corner.
It's just, but we made it work. We sure did.
Yes, we did. Now she's an angel, and then she of course followed us around. We got conference room book. You guys should check that out. That's of course at hashtag.podcast.com, all one word. You guys can check out our docu-series. That was so much fun.
All in word.
All
don't
uno word.
Uno word.
Uno word. You know that season between the podcast Grammys and then the show that you and I were a part of with the Oscars party, those are the last two live shows I've done in front of people.
And those were 3 years ago.
Tres años.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was actually real Spanish.
I think so.
Gracias.
Muy bien.
Gracias. Now, that means thank you or thanks, I think. I don't know. Now, how crazy is that to think that you're right, 3 years ago?
That's weird. And then the world changed.
Yeah. Kobe died and everything shifted.
Yep.
Falco, what was your favorite moment of the podcast? The docuseries, we'll say.
The docuseries. Finally getting to the end. Like,
Oh, girl, ain't that tea? Because that took weeks and weeks of planning.
mm-hmm.
Oh man, and those were so fun. But I think you're right. That's my favorite moment too. Like if I think about my favorite moment is the moment you and I walk on stage, like when we're in our like sequin outfits, like or
We were
sequins outfit.
sparkly.
We were sparkly.
Okay, Roxy.
Spackle, sequins. I don't know which one you're supposed to say. Sequence.
Honestly, I thought it was. Why wouldn't it
Sequin?
be sequence? Like, couldn't it be both?
Sequence.
Like,
Sequin. Yes, is the dress.
See,
white and
gold,
gold, or
blue and black.
Or is it not anything and it's
It's pink and
just.
teal.
Is it not a dress at all?
Is it just a wallpaper?
Is it a manatee?
Is it a trailer?
Is it a trailer in a park? Maybe a trailer park?
Or maybe it's floating in space as a spaceship.
Is it just a can of Mountain Dew?
Or is it a tall, large apple?
Newsflash, it's none of them! Because order's up. But yeah, no, it's just crazy, girl. We've been doing this show for so long. It's such a. But I gotta tell you, you also are very much my shout out. We couldn't have done this obviously with one another, but I'm so blessed to do this show with you. So, Miss Girl, the shout out. My last one goes to you, Miss Girl.
Aww. That's in a middle cast. Aww.
Cry or you don't love me. Cry or you don't love me. Just kidding. No, that's hilarious. It's like I need emotion. I need turmoil.
My heart became 3 sizes bigger. Hopefully that's not a medical issue thing and it's just the feelings.
The doctors,
Well,
doctors who are listening are like, oh my God.
My shadow goes right back out to you because
Oh,
5 years. Thank you so much for everything.
Miss Girl.
We went to DragCon. Like that was an experience in itself, and like that was like right after you got me into Drag Race. So
Was that the same time that the Uber driver thought we were going to Dragon Con?
Oh no, that driver was talking about BDSM com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, there's like 3 different like BDSM conventions going on, and we're like, we're not here for any of them. Actually, we're here for DragCon.
Exactly. I'm like, whip it. I mean, zip it. Whew.
But then he was like,
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
was talking about like different places that he's been to. Like you can go here if you want to. There's this warehouse, and you're like, oh god, a warehouse, really?
I know Oh, that's right. He was talking about the warehouse raves back in the. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
No, that was a wild adventure. And then I got the DragCon was so much fun. That was like the first time that El Pity and I were like in a room like with super famous news outlets, right? Like ET, MTV.
VH1.
We were in the I mean, it was just wild. And candidly speaking, right? I can talk about it now, but like LPD and I kind of just like the first year we went to DragCon, just sort of set up shop in the press room, right? Like there was a step and
Y'all stole a
repeat.
table.
Yeah, we straight up stole a table. So we stole a table from the convention center. We brought it into the step and repeat right in front. El Pity is like a master of like genius because we had technical problems and then she magically figured it out. Like that we got to record. We got to meet so many of the drag race queens and even like actresses and actors,
Yeah.
which was super fun.
So crazy that still to this day that we did that. So met YouTubers, like I met Glozell, like
That was epic, Miss Glozell, exactly. And then, but then what's interesting about that event, I love it. You can't actually do podcasting in the press room anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who ruined that, but
might have been us.
we'll have a talk with them.
Right.
Allegedly. No, but that was so much fun. And again, what's crazy about DragCon itself, right? Another shout out, of course, goes to a good friend of the pod, Sam, who I met a year after, right? When the year you didn't go to DragCon.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting, then she flew out to Denver, did a show with us, got to meet you, and then that became a friendship, which was really wonderful. So Sam and Omar, shout out to you guys as well. So
Yes.
just nuts how it all comes.
I miss
comes
you too,
around.
Ryan. Ryan, I miss
Oh my god. I'm sick of Ryan, frankly. I'm just kidding. I love that lady.
JR
Okay.
Slots is becoming LR Slots.
Lair Strats. Lair Strats. But yeah, no, I can't believe that we've hit this 100th episode. So it's just really cool for us to reminisce. Again, we didn't want to overthink it with all these convoluted things. We just wanted to walk down memory
What if
lane.
we talk about that? What if we talk about our ideas? Because we had some ideas.
Oh, we had some ideas.
Yes.
Tell me.
We were thinking about going through our podcast and like finding like the funniest moments. But once again, here we are at episode 100, so we'd have to go through 99 episodes. Like,
99 episodes. We're not gonna listen to them, but they're available on Apple iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify.
Google Podcast too.
Nina, yes. I think that's who sings that song. Isn't that who sings 99 Luftballons?
I
I think her
think
name
so.
is Nina. Yes, that's right. Nina, if you're listening, this shout out goes to you. Thank you so much. We're so glad that we could show the world who you were. I know you were just a small artist before hashtag that podcast, and now we have Epity just did the emoji face when the teeth are like a square and it's like, ooh, no. And then she shook her head no. I said, okay, people can see you.
I forgot
she's like,
for a second.
she's like, cut, over. Yeah, no, I'm JKing. I'm JKing all over you and your face. Now listen,
that's a saying. That's a good saying. Okay.
Now, we've made an impact on the podcast world, right? It's true. What's interesting is like you think about even Drag Race podcasts. Again, I'm not saying that we've by any stretch of the imagination creators of this stuff, but we really were one of the first to like actively be in the community and podcasts and all that good stuff. Now, we were also like we were talking about TanaCon news dropping when stuff like that happened.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious because I was actually working over the weekend, and all of a sudden,
trabajo.
Yeah, I was trabajoing over the weekend. El weekend, I don't know. But we saw the news drop, and I was just like, we were both like, okay, we got to meet up at the studio. We have to record right now.
But how nice! Like we had a studio to like when dropping news, whatever we would like do TanaCon. We also it was really fun. We got to do like we were invited to like Fashion Week. We got invited to the Denver Paper Fashion Show, which was really epic as well. And doing like behind the scenes, just so much cool, kooky stuff. We've had the privilege of doing.
We did. We got to host a couple of movie premieres. That was pretty cool.
That's right. Yeah, like we were like super famoso. That's not the word for famous, but kind of right. But we got to do movie premieres. You're exactly right. Hosting those, being invited to those, really epic stuff. Remember Brunch Fest?
Yes.
Yeah, one day we'll have to go back, but it was hilarious. I don't know that they loved that we said it was a really fun event, right? But there was a coffee exploded on one of our guests when we were going, so it was like we talked about it honestly, but we didn't get invited back shortly after. But I think now,
people.
But I don't know if that was like a personal thing or what. But they're doing a whole bunch of other things like a macaroni and cheese fest and all that stuff. So you go, company. I support food. That's for sure.
Yes, food.
Yes, food.
I'm just over here looking at some of our stats to see like where have we been.
It's so crazy. Tell me, Miss Thing. So let's start with probably the biggest stat that's actually like mind-numbing to actually think about in retrospect of only 100 episodes of the show. And that's our total plays.
Yes, our total plays are insane. So we have a total of 17,748,725 plays.
That you said exactly right, and I turned it over to you because I'm like, you know numbers way better than me. I'm like 745, 7. Now, but that's pretty amazing. Our first episode was, of course, our highest viewed episode at 1.3 million people. But it is crazy to think that we have had 17 million engagements on this show.
Right.
Talk to me about that number in your head, Miss Thing.
I can't imagine that number. Like, that's just so weird to me. So, like, even so, my bosses brag about it. So, weird.
And it got us places, which is really crazy too. It's like it was, and I remember that time. So, like, no, I don't think I don't want to use the word like fall off, right? But we've certainly fallen off our epic peak of 2018.
Yes.
Right. But I remember LPD and I would be around the city of Denver, and in some cases others, but Denver primarily, and people would recognize our voices and say, "Oh my God, are you from #that podcast?" That was crazy stuff to me because I had never experienced like that level of notoriety, for lack of better words.
Right.
But like, remember we were at that show and they're like, "Wait, hold, are you guys that podcast?" Like, yes, we are.
Do you really know us, or do you really? What?
Exactly. I'm like, who paid you to say that?
Right. Exactly.
Crazy. Isn't that interesting? But yeah, it's really epic to think. I mean, and we have had. Yeah, I mean, we look at some of these stats, like you were saying, right? Our first episode, 1.3 million.
Yes.
Let's see if I can do the actual words. 1,368,361 plays, and that's across different channels, right? So keep in mind, like we are on all different platforms and all that good stuff. So this is how we gain those stats.
Yes,
so
exactly, and then coming in at number 2 for top episode, so second place, first runner up. I know it's confusing. Just I know.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows, but
you kind of get the ground.
There we go. Episode 45.
Episode 45. And so these are the internet is deeming these the very best of our shows. So I'd recommend watching them and listening to them. And then of course coming in at third or first, second alternate.
Second alternate or
Oh,
second runner-up.
I looked at Alpidi and because this is an audio program for some of you listening. I looked and said, "Is that what did I say?" So it's just second alternate.
Yes, second alternate or second runner-up.
Second alternate or second runner-up, aka third place, would be episode number, my favorite number, 27. Yes. No, that is really crazy. And to think like our I mean, I don't want to say we're very Hollywood, okay?
But
We're kind of Hollywood.
we're kind of Hollywood. So
Tell us why, Alpidi.
I don't know. I wasn't sure where we were
Oh.
going.
And this is the reality of this show, folks.
I think I see where you're going with this.
We're Hollywood, girl. Let's try that again. We are so Hollywood, right, girl? We're so Hollywood.
We're so Hollywood. We're so Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And you know why we're so Hollywood?
Tell me. I'm not sure that you do.
Because our top city.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Our top city out of all the listens with 2,038,459 is Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles. That's Hollywood. But you know what? We're not only Hollywood, we're also a little bit hood. Because our number 2 city is West Chicago with 1.6 million. And then of course we that translates into some other West Coast cities as well. Duarte, Atlanta, Vegas. We have some German listeners along with some French listeners. So it's really interesting to think how many countries we've impacted too.
United Kingdom. That's not a city, but
but it's a country.
Wolverhampton in United Kingdom, and then London. We have people in London listen to us. Jakarta, Indonesia, Sansai, and Bangkok, Thailand.
Denver, New Jersey, and Dallas.
Yep. Denver is so far down there.
Denver. No, Denver's pretty far down there, but I don't see Arizona here.
I do see Tokyo, Japan, and we're gonna go there one day.
Yes, we are. It would be crazy to have like a live thing there, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think like when you really take a moment and we don't do this often enough, right? To think about how many people we've impacted, how many countries people have listened to us and then turned us off on and said, "What? Thanks hashtags." But Hyaku, that's 100 in Japan. So yeah, it's just crazy to think about how many people really do listen and have listened. And again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you to everyone who listened. And I don't know why when I said the word "th," it sounded like a fart was coming out of my mouth.
What he's trying to say is thank you so much
Thank you
for all of your support.
There was too much saliva there.
You're just trying to be so multilingual. That's all. You just
I am
just getting all the languages, even sounds,
even
inappropriate sounds.
Even inappropriate. It's
Funny
it's so true. Funny sounds. And you can catch us in our next show called Funny Sounds on Patreon.
Yes.
Can you imagine? I bet you people would watch.
Funny
Okay, that's a
sounds.
stretch. Maybe not.
Right.
Funny sounds. Funny sounds with funny people. It's like, oof.
Here's our first funny sound. Oh.
Off. So still. Now, speaking of, so I've been really thinking about, countries, frankly, because we just talked about them. And, I always, I'm fascinated with the royal family, right?
Yes.
And so I think there is, the reverence I find for someone like Princess Diana is pretty epic. Tell me about it.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Janette. That is my sister. Of course, huge shout out to Jeanette. She's been a long time listener. And of course, she's my biological sister. I love that girl. But yeah, so I think about this, and this is actually a topic that I think my sister would get into. But again, our family, we grew up in Europe, right? So like there's some fascination with the royal family, especially Princess Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fascinating that that's not just true for Europeans, right? There's a reverence that Princess Diana has all over the world.
I thought you were going to say all over social media.
All over social media. Princess Diana. No, but wouldn't you say that's true? Right? Don't you have like some sort of love and affection for Princess Di?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it was just kind of like inherited, like, oh, but yeah.
She's a good person. She's like a saint, right? So then I started really thinking about this. I thought, oh my god, LP and I have got to talk about this. Obviously, Princess Diana is the people's princess, right? Of a certain country and of course the world. But if you had to think about it, like, who do you think would be America's equivalent to Princess Diana? And this could of course be a living person, but I mean just the overall reverence across the country, right? Like that everyone can relate to. And of course, you know, I think about people like Oprah.
Oprah, okay.
Right? But I also think Oprah has, like, I love Oprah, right? But she's also super polarizing to some people. Right?
This requires thinking. And
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
No, you can think and you can know. But isn't that an interesting question, right? To think, like, who in our country has any level of reverence like that people love, right? So, like, at first blush, you know who I think about, right? Is The Rock.
I love that.
Right? Because The Rock, like, a lot of people love The Rock. Right? And like at first blush, who would you, like, if you think, oh my god, I love this person, who else would you think of? Like,
well, I can't say this person anymore because they had a scandal. So I was gonna say Will Smith.
but I think I think you're right. Before the scandal, I think Will Smith was very much revered. I think he was very much, you know, I think people were like, oh, he has it together. He got to this and that. And then I started really diving in. I'm like, who else could it be? I'm like, I have no idea, because
Are you
think
say
about
me? It's me.
I'm going to say you. Yes, exactly. Bingo, revered around the world. Right, but you think about people like Beyonce, right? But maybe people don't like Beyonce's music, right? Like,
right. There's that. I mean, they're wrong. No, I mean, I get it.
no, I'm with you though. Like, I'm like, yeah, but who is that one person across the United States that people revere? You know,
The Kardashians.
but see, that's true. But you think, like, there's this reverence for them, yes. But then there's also, like, this other side of people like, rah. And of course, Diana had her haters. But do you know who I believe? And this is a controversial opinion. In fact, I think what I'm about to say could be the most viral TikTok thing I've ever said.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm looking at the timestamp. Go ahead.
That's exactly right. So the Princess Diana of America is really, she brings everyone together. Everyone has a love and reverence for her.
And I'm gonna stop you real quick. Can you repeat that, because you glitched out for a second?
I glitched. No, so so I'm going to tell you right now, and this may be the most famous thing that I say on TikTok, frankly. However, I think that America's Princess Diana, a lady who's revered across the country, loved from all walks of life, and I think I finally nailed who America's Princess Diana is. And of course, this takes away nothing from the legacy of Princess Diana.
I have someone.
You may know who it is. Who is it, El Pity?
Is it Betty White?
It could be Betty White, yes. But that's not who it is. Although that is a darn good one. America's Princess Diana is Dolly Parton. I mean, right? Like, if you think about Dolly Parton, she brings together all walks of life, right? Even her music transcends. But, like, I don't know if there's a single person who's like, ugh, Dolly Parton. Right?
Right. Like, who doesn't like her?
So don't you? But what do you think about that very long wind up to state my belief of America's Princess Diana?
I mean, it gave me time to think, so thank you.
Yes, but honestly, I think you're right, El Pity. Betty White was also super revered. Like, there's a love that she's like America's grandma, right? And so, like, there's that. Now, the other one that Ryan, actually, my good Judy Ryan mentioned, was a really good contender, and I thought, gosh, this is a close one. Reba.
Okay.
Reba McEntire, right? Like, but I don't know that she's as, like, I think she's popular and people are like, oh, Reba's fine. I don't know what that accent was, but I do know. But I think about Dolly. Like, I think Dolly Parton is truly America's people's princess, like the Queen of America.
I think so. I think that's a very good choice, honestly.
Thank you.
Good job. Wasn't really controversial. Good job.
You thought I was going to say something crazy.
I was like, we're getting canceled. This is it. Phyllis
like,
Dillard. Phyllis
Dillard would be America's. That would be America's great grandma. She's hilarious too. Now, and there's so many, and you think about how many people had this role at one point, or like you thought were the most revered people in America, and they've fallen from grace, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's really interesting to think, like, you think about a couple people who've really fallen from grace. Like Will Smith was a really interesting example, right? You think about like, I mean, there's just so many people. I think about like, granted, she was very polarizing, but like a Roseanne Barr, right? Like that's also like you have this height of popularity and then you fall. So, and Dolly has managed to stay on top with little to no controversy for many years. So
Exactly.
go
There's
delay.
there's a rumor that she has like her like full body tats, like her like sleeves. That's why she.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's so awesome. She's like, honey, I don't show none of my tattoos in public.
Right. That's at home.
That's for at home time. So anyway, not that that was a topic that anyone needed to know or have, but I thought that we should pay it forward to the world and let the world know that America's People's Princess is Dolly Parton.
Yes. You're welcome.
You're welcome, world. DJ Khaled and Assad.
Thank you for being here for 100 episodes.
I mean, it is crazy. So we, El Pity, this is crazy. We have done it. Uno ciento, 100. Yaku. 100.
I'm just sitting here like, oh my god.
Yes, all of them. All of them. Now, the thing we didn't acknowledge for those of you watching us on video is how effing cute we look.
We look so cute. Like,
Tell the world what we're wearing. What are we
We're-
wearing? Hey, what are we wearing? What are we wearing? Hey, El Pity, what are you guys wearing?
oh, thank you. Thank you for asking. We are wearing our very popular hashtag that podcast shirts with our faces on them. And
We-
each of us have our own jacket, Galaxy jacket. I guess a little bomber jacket, maybe? Yeah?
Yeah, bon mel, CC,
And
oui, oui.
we have our own faces on our own jackets. So.
Yes, because we're sociopaths.
Uh.
No, so this is funny. So well, we always joke like we look really cute as a duo when we wear our shirts and jackets, but when we wear them individually, we look like insane people. They're like,
Yes.
"You're wearing a jacket of yourself, huh? This is a choice." And we're
Right.
like, "Yes, a good choice,
A choice indeed.
a choice indeed." But the jackets have been a topic of hot debate, and even like friendships have started because of jackets, right? Like Sam, it was the first thing she said was like something about the jacket, and then it'd be, become best friends of the world.
Yes.
So.
Best,
Yes, and the-
best friends of the world.
Ding,
Of the
ding, ding.
world.
Is that RuPaul? No, but it is pretty crazy. Now, the one thing I will tell you, I still, after all these episodes, don't believe that white cake is a thing,
Or do you mean yellow cake?
or yellow cake, because they're all. Did you know that they're all actually a real thing? Remember,
Yeah.
we went over white cake, yellow cake, and then of course there's flavored cakes. But I don't understand why those two cakes are deemed to a color and we don't give them a flavor name.
I wish I could tell you that, but I don't know. I just know that it's very good.
It's very good, and I've had it. My mother made a white cake, and you made a yellow cake.
Mm-hmm. Which
Delicioso.
the only box of yellow cake I could find was a gluten-free one. So
Oh, thank God, because I'm GF. It's circled on the menu.
might be in the color green, you know.
In the color green. And then Chester drawers, that was a whole debacle. Listen, LPD, I gotta tell you, these 100 episodes have been super fun, and I'm super grateful. And just thank you, and I love you, nerds.
I love you too. And
Thank you
here's
very
to
much.
100 more podcast episodes and even more than that.
Oh, I was gonna say, and then let's stop.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's do 100 more, and then ceasing immediately. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. No, unfortunately, Elpidia and I made a lifelong pact that even if we hate one another, you will never know it because we will be besties on air. No, the reality is we said we will do this forever. So
Yeah.
no matter what level of fame we will reach, even if it skyrockets and peaks past our wonderful 2018, 2019 years, we will always record.
we will
Forever.
always be here.
Even if I win an Academy Award for playing Meryl Streep in Meryl Streep, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Weirdly
Yeah.
enough.
It's true. I may or may not have gotten a call. Wink, wink, not true.
And I win a Grammy for some song that I just made up in 20 minutes.
That's right. It's called Puff Daddy. And it has nothing to do with Puff Daddy or P. Diddy
Nope.
or Sean Combs or whatever. Isn't he calling it? Okay, I know we're distracted here, self, but isn't he named something else now? Alrighty, folks. I know this is not how we wanted to end this, but I do want to know if Puff Daddy has a new name and it looks like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy. Maybe that's what. Okay, or John Combs.
Can I just say that
Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss. But what do you have to say to the world? Please tell us.
I just want to make sure everyone knows that it is El Pity and not LP Diddy.
LP, that's true too.
Yeah.
That's. Thank you. Good segue. So with that being said, it is not Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, or Sean John Combs. We are John and
El Pity.
And we're hashtag
that podcast.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Thank you very much. Na 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 na.
I like how we went back to Will Smith.
I know. We're bringing her back. No, but for real, we love you guys so much, and we're gonna see you next time for that podcast.
Yes.
Bye. Bye. 100 DJ Khaled. We love you mucho.